Morning, everybody. And when I say morning, I mean good evening, good afternoon. It's 3:41 p.m. And after last night's revelations, we are no longer going to call things what they aren't. For example, friends. Friends talk to you regularly, individually, personally. They ask you things like how you're doing. They get updates. They want to tell you things about their life. They make you a priority in some way. They spend time with you with intention. And I saw a bug land perfectly almost on the lock of this car door next to me. Like that circular key opening. You're being guided right to the key here, right to the lock, so that you can open the door and step through into the next chapter, into the next phase, into the next situation. So, if people don't make you a priority, if they don't ask you how you are, if they don't talk to you regularly outside of your weekly routine, if they don't make you a priority, maybe those aren't your friends. Maybe they're just people you know. No matter how long you've known them. So, let's apply that a little bit further. I mean, we already know that's true for relationships, but it's true for friendships. The people in your life are supposed to do those things. The people that value you, the people that value those relationships. This is, you are holding yourself back from a new beginning, from calling in your soul tribe, because you were holding on to relationships that weren't actually substantial. So let's not even, we've been so focused on the word friend for the last couple weeks, right? Because we decided in a particular situation that friends was the right move. But that led to us redefining how we see our friendships. What those people that we call friends, what their role actually is in our life. And there's no, like I said yesterday, there's no negative energy here. It's just an observation of what is true and what is not true. They're not acquaintances. I've known them way too long for that. I know too much about them. But that was a long time ago. Old friends, I'm not even sure that fits. I'm not sure what to call these people in my life. But what I know is that we are drawing in new energy. We are drawing in real friendships. People that want real friendships, real relationships. And we're not settling for less than that. High Priestess and Temperance. And it's taken time for us to understand not just our value and our worth, but understanding that we are not just going to settle for anything. This is almost giving that energy of this isn't my situation because I don't have anybody close enough to be considered a bad friend. I think in order for somebody to be a bad friend, you have to be hanging out with them all the time. You have to be having these conversations, and they have to be actively mistreating you. I don't have that either. But somebody here does. And if they are mistreating you, you need to be able to recognize that. And the challenge here is sight. Making the decision to, because I'm getting that you might be scared if this is for you, You might be scared that if you make the decision to cut off that person, you're not going to have a friend at all, which is kind of where I'm at. And it's not so bad, I promise. It's a lot of you time. It's a lot of getting comfortable with yourself. And honestly, I don't feel bad about that, but I know that's not where we're supposed to land. That's a step on the way. It's part of the process. I'm seeing scarabs. Hold on. I gotta Google scarabs. So it seems like scarabs represent the cycles of life. In Egyptian mythology... Oh, my bus is leaving. He parks far away too. It represents the sun. Cycles of the sun. Rebirth. New beginnings. That's very reminiscent of the Fool energy. Fascinating. They were worn as an amulet for that reason, because it represented the sun god. And I'm assuming that when somebody died, they put them on the mummy to help them be reborn. This might be a death for you. A social death. Oh my god, what is that? Crazy little insect. Not sure I can get it to focus. But there's this crazy green cricket thing. It's pretty wild to look at, actually. It's got giant antennas that are like 3 times its body length. I might get out and like show you in a second. I'm waiting for my boss to drive away so that I don't have to do the awkward like head nod because we saw each other. Not that I don't want to say hi to him, but when you can't actually like get out of the car and talk, why bother? I can't actually see my phone, but look at this dude. It's crazy. He's like leaning into the shade. So that's our energy right now, calling in our soul tribe, understanding that the labels that we give the people in our life need to be authentic. And if they're not living up to that label, maybe don't give it to them. Is it really your friend if they make no effort? I don't even want to get into relationships with this. This is going to just be about friends. Because if you aren't being a friend, you can't call yourself that. If they are not being a friend, you can't call them that. Living in your truth doesn't mean saying that to them. Doesn't mean you have to tell them like you're not a friend to me. But you understanding the truth of it, maybe that's important. So the deck didn't want to produce cards today. Anything you want to say, Spirit? High Priestess, you already know in your heart what the right thing is in these relationships. If it's somebody that you need to cut off, you got to do that. If, in my case, it's just understanding it for what it is and maybe changing nothing. Maybe it's just a mental thing. Because I don't think I'm going to stop hanging out with these people. I mean, they're my family. Just working through the feelings, opening myself up so that I can receive the people that are meant for me. The people that will put in the effort, the people that will take the time, the people that will want more personal connections instead of weekly check-ins, or in the case of some family members, quarterly check-ins. You know, they have the best of intentions. I think all of them.